Hello, everyone. I'm Davy. It's nice to see you again. I'm the host of The Sandwich Show. It's also an interview show we do on Twitch, and we've featured a lot of great interviews, much like Vibing has over there on this channel. In addition, we also do gaming streams and karaoke and a lot of other fun things here 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays over on Twitch at Davy's Eating a Sandwich. Speaking of gaming, I want to show you how gaming works on this channel. And there are a few things that go into it, particularly if you're using an emulator. We have been using an emulator in recent days because we are featuring some NES and Super NES streams for the near future. In fact, one that I'm about to prepare for, by the time this series may have already aired, but we're setting up for a Super Mario Brothers spectacular stream. We're going to play Super Mario 1, 2, 3, and Super Mario World all together in 2 separate streams coming up. The way you do it is you get the games on an emulator, load the ROMs, run the emulator, and then use a controller. You can get controllers from anywhere. I got this one from Amazon. This is a Super Nintendo style controller, and it looks really close to the real thing. Check it out. This is from Inext, and I mean, it's so close to the Super Nintendo controller that you almost might sue these guys for copyright infringement. It even has like the L and the R buttons. Pretty good. So, you plug it in with a USB. It's pretty easy. Next, you got to go over to the computer and you get yourself an emulator. The one you choose is going to depend on your personal preference, but there are a lot of different types of choices. So going over to my desktop computer, I can show you what we've set up. Now over here is Nestopia. This is the emulator I'm selecting for regular NES games, so 8-bit Nintendo games, the first of the Nintendo games released in North America. And over to its right, you have SNES 9X. This is what we use to run Super Nintendo games, and then you can load ROMs from there and play them as well. You get the ROMs from different websites. I'm not going to say exactly where, but you can download them and put them into the ROMs folder of your emulator of your emulator's program folder. So then what you do is you open up your emulator. In this case, we're going to try Nestopia. So go ahead and open that up, and you get this blank screen. So there are 2 things you need to do. First, you need to load the game. Now, this is assuming you've already downloaded the game and put it into the right spot. So you go over here, and then you go ahead and open your ROM. For the demonstration, we'll use DuckTales. Now, DuckTales is a really, really fun game. So we'll go ahead and load this right now. And this is what it looks like. We cannot play the sound because we'll have DMCA issues with this particular stream if we do. So we'll put it on mute. But that's how it works. Then what you do is you have to set up your input. As we mentioned, we have this controller, so we have to set the buttons correctly. So you can do that over here by going to the options and then selecting input. This is where you set your buttons. So as you go to each of these selections, notice you have left, up, right, down, select, start, B, and A. There are also 2 buttons for auto fire B and auto fire A, which were used for the turbo controllers that Nintendo used to have back in the day. But since we have a SNES controller, you actually can assign turbo buttons as well, because you have 2 extra buttons over here, so you can just set those. So then you just go to each of these, and then you click on set, and then you can select the button you want to set. So for example, for left, I just click this, and then I push this, and then I push the left, and it sets it. And then same thing for up. We click on set again, and then I push the up arrow, and it does it. And then you do the same thing for right, and then you click on this right one, and it does it. And then for down, it's not changing anything because I already set these earlier. But when you get the emulator for the first time, these options are blank. So for down, you just click on the down over here. For select, it goes without saying you select. There's select right here. And then for start, same thing. You just kind of go through them all like that. And then you have BA, auto fire B, and A. So you have Y. Super Nintendo Y will be regular Nintendo B, and then A is A. And then X would be auto fire B, and auto fire A will be actual A, will be Super Nintendo A. So B, oh, sorry. I have to feel these. Okay. So B, A, auto fire B, auto fire A. In fact, they're kind of lined up. So this is A, like A, turbo A, B, turbo B, kind of like that. So that's how the buttons look. And we'll just click OK. And then you start the game. But playing it like this wouldn't look very, very good on a stream. So what we have to do is you set up a layout. So this will be a window capture. And then we go to this scene in OBS, which is the horizontal game layout. So you'll see that there are a few items that are displayed. The logo for the sandwich shows up there. There's also a blurb for any upcoming shows that we have on the sandwich show. We'll promo them in the corner of the screen. And then any bars to track tips and bits can be displayed as well. There's also a small inset of my camera feed, which is on the left corner of the screen. And then here you have the game, DuckTales. And the way you set it up is you create a window capture, and then when you select which window, you would select Nestopia from the window. But it's usually best to set this window up after your game is running. That way it'll detect the game, and then you can use it as your window. Then what you have to do is you have to size it to the appropriate length and width, and try to make it as big as you can. And then I always put it in the center, but you don't really have to. So, I mean, a lot of people do these layouts differently. Some people like to do it in a corner. Some people like to do it smaller. Some people like to make it bigger. Some people want to zoom in. There's no right answer to that question. But the last thing you do here is you just play the game. So you can start here. And it's pretty much how you do it. It's just touch, you just cut, you just plug and play. And you can select the level, and we'll just get started. Maybe we can try Transylvania and see how it goes. And there away we go. Now we're Scrooge McDuck. Jump. Here we go. That's it. That's how you play. Hope you enjoyed it. And now let's get back to, I'll start playing this game, but while I play, we'll take it back to all of you that are over at Island Vibing Presents.